In this video, we will be going over constructing in geometry, which will include bisecting an angle, copying an angle, bisecting a line segment, copying a line segment, inscribing an equilateral triangle, and finally, inscribing a regular hexagon. Bisecting an angle. We are given the angle A, B, and C and told to bisect it. We will first need to create an arc around point B in order to find two intersecting points. These 2 points we will label E and F. Then with the same compass setting, you will create 2 more arcs around each intersecting point. The point where these 2 arcs intersect, we will label D. Then get a straight edge, like a protractor, and draw a ray between point B and point D. This is your bisecting angle, or line that bisects your angle. So now we know that ray BD bisects angle ABC. Copying an angle. We are given the angle A, B, and C and told to copy it. First, we will need to create a ray that copies B and C, but does not necessarily need to be parallel. To avoid confusion between these 2 angles, these points will be labeled differently than these ones. This point we will label D, and this point we will label E. Then we will create an arc around point B in the angle above, creating 2 intersecting points. This will be labeled F, and this will be labeled G. Using the same compass setting to make this arc, you will do the same with point D. You will get 1 intersecting point, which we will call H. Then in the angle above, create an arc around G, but that also intersects F. Here you can see an arc that wraps around G, but also intersects the point F. We will do the same in the angle below. But of course, there's no point there. Instead, we get an intersection, which is how we will find our point, which we will label J. Get another straight edge, like the one you used before, to make a straight ray from D to J. This is the copy of angle A, B, and C. So now we can say angle A, B, and C is congruent to angle J, D, E. Bisecting a line segment. We're given the segment A and B and told to bisect it. Once again, get your compass. Make 2 arcs around point A that seem relatively past the midpoint between A and B. With the same compass setting, do the same action for point B. You now have 2 intersecting points, which we will call X and Y. Now, with the straight edge again, draw a line between these 2 points. Now we can say this is the midpoint between x and y and a and b. We can also say that these 2 lines are perpendicular, as well as these 2 segments between a and b are congruent. Copying a line segment. Once again, we are given the segment AB, but this time told to copy it. Get a straight edge and make an even longer line than A and B. Right under A, make a corresponding point, which we will label C. Then, with the compass, around point A, make an arc, but also that intersects B. With the same compass setting, do the same around point C. Here you will have an intersection, which we will label point D. Now, these 2 lines are congruent. Inscribing an equilateral triangle. At first you may think creating a triangle out of a circle is hard, but it is actually quite easy. To start, use that straight edge again and create a diameter line that goes straight through the center point, which is point O. Once that is done, you will label the 2 intersecting points above and below, A and B. Then, with your compass, create an arc around point B, but also intersecting the center O. Make sure when making this arc, it hits the sides of the circle. You will create 2 more intersecting points, which we will label D and E. This is where it gets simple. Simply get that straight edge and create line segments between D and A, A and E, and finally D and E. There is your equilateral triangle. Inscribing a regular hexagon. We are given the point O, which we will provide as the center of our circle, which we will make with the compass. Remember, after making this circle, you will need to keep the setting, as you will need it later. So do not move this part of the compass when you set it down. Pick a point anywhere on the circle. In this case, we will choose B. Then with that same compass setting, you will create an arc around point B. Label that intersecting point, and again, create another arc. Do this multiple times, and before long, you will get a hexagon. With a straight edge, you will finally reveal the actual lines of the hexagon. And here is your inscribed regular hexagon. That was constructing in geometry. Hope you enjoyed. God, I hate making these videos.